I will explain the definition and importance of sustainable development. Sustainable development refers to a development process that meets the needs of present generation without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. It aims to achieve a balance between economic growth, social well-being, and environmental protection. This means that development should not focus only on economic profit, but also on improving people's quality of life while preserving the environment. Sustainable development promotes the efficient use of natural resources and encourage the use of renewable energy sources such as solar and hydroelectric power. It also supports green technology, recycling practice, energy conservation, and proper waste management to reduce environmental pollution. The importance of sustainable development can be seen through its economic benefits. It helps create more employment opportunity, improve education and healthcare service, development modern infrastructure, and increase the standard of living of the people. As a result, economic growth can be achieved in more balanced and sustainable way. In addition, sustainable development helps reduce poverty and social inequality by ensuring that development benefits all groups in society, including rural community and low-income households. It encourages equal access to opportunity and resources, allowing more people to enjoy the benefits of national development. Furthermore, sustainable development plays an important role in protecting the environment. It helps conserve forests, rivers, biodiversity, and other natural resources. While reducing pollution and environmental degradation, it's important to ensure that Malaysia's natural resources remain available for future generations. In conclusion, sustainable development is essential because it balances economic progress, social development, and environmental protection. It improves the quality of life, protect natural resources, and ensure a sustainable future for Malaysia.
Now, I will present the first economic barrier, which is the lack of financial resource in sustainable development. Firstly, sustainable development projects require a very high level of funding. These include projects like renewable energy, waste management, and green technology. All of these need high initial capital, which makes them difficult to implement. On top of that, governments often prioritize other important sectors such as healthcare, education, and national development, so sustainability projects usually receive less funding. That is the challenges. The main issue here is that the high cost of sustainable projects discourages investors. This is because the investment requires a large amount of money and usually takes a long time to get returns. Besides that, green technology like solar panels and energy efficient systems are still expensive, so not many organizations can afford to adopt them. Moving on to SMEs. SMEs are also affected by this issue. Since they have limited financial resources, it is difficult for them to invest in sustainable practice. Even though some SMEs want to be more environmentally friendly, the cost becomes a big barrier. Because of this, their participation in sustainability efforts is still quite low. Finally, there are a few strategies to solve this problem. First, the government can provide grants and tax incentives to help reduce the financial burden on business. Second, more investment in green technology research and development is needed. This can help reduce costs in the long run and make sustainable solutions more affordable. In conclusion, lack of financial resources is a major barrier to sustainable development, but it can be improved with financial support and stronger investment in green technology. Another important economic barrier is income inequality. Firstly, income inequality refers to the unequal distribution of income and resource within society. This situation causes low-income groups who have limited financial capacity, making it difficult for them to meet basic needs such as food, housing, and education. As a result, sustainability is often not a priority for these groups as they are more focused on fulfilling their daily survival needs. Next is the challenges. One of the main issues is that people from lower income communities tend to prioritize survival over environmental protection. Because of this, activities related to sustainability such as recycling and using eco-friendly practice are often overlooked. In addition, these communities also have limited access to green facilities and sustainable technologies, which further reduce their ability to participate in the sustainable development initiative. Moving on to impact in Malaysia, in the Malaysian context, income inequality can be seen clearly between urban and rural areas. Urban communities generally have better access to education, job opportunities, and sustainable infrastructure. However, rural communities often face limited access to this resource. This creates an imbalance and affects equal participation in sustainable development across the country. Finally, several strategies can be implemented to address this issue. First, improving access to education, healthcare, and employment opportunities can help reduce income inequality in the long term. Second, the government can introduce fair wage policies and introduce social assistance programs to support low-income groups. These efforts are important to ensure more inclusive and balanced participation in sustainable development. In conclusion, income inequality is a significant economic barrier because it limits equal access to resource opportunities and participation in sustainability efforts. Another important social barrier is the lack of awareness and education regarding sustainability. This refers to the public's limited understanding of sustainability issues and environmental protection. As a result, many individuals are not fully aware of the importance of adopting eco-friendly practice in their daily life. Because of this lack of awareness, participation in sustainable activities such as recycling, energy saving, and environmental conservation remains relatively low. Next is the challenges. One of the main challenges is that rural communities often have less access to environmental education and information. This creates a gap in knowledge between urban and rural populations. In addition, environmental knowledge is not even distributed across society, which leads to inconsistent understanding and engagement in sustainability efforts. Moving on to the education issue, sustainability is not strongly emphasized in some school curriculum. This means that students may not receive sufficient exposure to environmental topics at an early stage. As a result, many students lack a strong understanding of environmental protection and the importance of sustainable practice in daily life. Finally, several strategies can be implemented to address the issue. First, sustainability education should be strengthened in schools by integrating environmental topics more effectively in the curriculum. Second, awareness campaigns should be increased through media platforms and community programs. These efforts can help improve public understanding and encourage greater participation in sustainable practice. In conclusion, lack of awareness and education is a significant social barrier as it limits public understanding and participation in sustainability initiatives. Next is the social inequality. For social barriers, social inequality refers to the unequal access to resources and opportunities among different groups in society. This leads to development gap where some communities are more advantaged than others in terms of income, education, and living standards. As a result, this creates an equal development within society and affects overall social sustainability. Next is challenges. One of the main challenges is this disparity between urban and rural areas. Urban areas generally have better infrastructure, more job opportunities, and greater access to public service. In contrast, rural communities often have limited access to this service, which restricts their social and economic development. Moving on to environmental impact, low-income groups often depend on natural resources for their survival. This depends mainly the overuse of natural resources, especially when alternatives are not available. In addition, poor sanitation system and ineffective waste management in some communities can contribute to environmental pollution and environmental degradation. Finally, there are strategies to address this issue. First, ensuring equal access to education, healthcare, and employment opportunity is essential to reduce social inequality. Second, support should be provided to rural and low-income communities in order to improve their living conditions and encourage more sustainable development practice. In conclusion, social inequality is a major social barrier as it creates development gaps and negatively affects both society and the environment.
To overcome economic barriers to sustainable development, strong government support and financial assistance are essential. The government helps by introducing policies and regulations that encourage sustainable practices and environmental protection. Financial support, such as tax incentives, subsidies, grants, and low-interest loan, can reduce the high cost of implementing green technologies and renewable energy projects. This makes it easier for businesses and individuals to adopt sustainable practices. In addition, investment in green infrastructure such as public transportation, renewable energy, and eco-friendly buildings have promote long-term sustainability. The private sector and international organizations also can contribute through funding, expertise, and technology support. Overall, government police financial assistance and investment work together to reduce economic barriers, create job opportunities, and ensure the success of sustainable development in the region.
The next point is 5.0, which is strategy to overcome social barriers. 501, which is Education and Awareness Program. The first point is improve public knowledge and understanding of environmental protection, sustainable resource management, and sustainable lifestyle through education and awareness initiative. Education and awareness program help people understand the importance of protecting the environment and using resources responsibly. By learning about issues such as climate change, pollution, deforestation, and waste management, individuals become more aware of the consequences of unsustainable activity and are encouraged to adopt more sustainable lifestyle. In addition, encourage positive change in attitude and behavior by promoting environmentally friendly practice and reducing unsustainable activities. Many environmental problems occur because people lack awareness of the long-term impact of their action. Through awareness campaigns and education activities, individuals can be encouraged to recycle, reduce waste, conserve energy, and support environmentally friendly practice. These behavioral changes contribute to environmental protection and support sustainable development efforts. The last point is strengthen cooperation among government, business, educational institutions, media organizations, and local communities in achieving sustainability goals. Education and awareness programs create opportunities for different stakeholders to work together in promoting sustainable development. When people are well informed, they are more likely to support government policy, participate in community programs, and cooperate with organizations that promote environmental conservation and social development. Next is 5.2, which is community participation. The first one is encourage the active involvement of local communities in planning, decision-making, and implementing sustainable development projects. Community participation allows local people to share their opinion, needs, and experience during the development process. This helps ensure that projects are more suitable for the community and increase public support for sustainability initiatives. Furthermore, the second point is promote shared responsibility and collective action in protecting the environment and improving social well-being. When communities actively participate in sustainability programs, they develop a stronger sense of responsibility toward environmental protection and social development. Activities such as recycling campaign, tree planting, and river cleaning projects encourage cooperation and help create positive impact within the community. Lastly, the last point is build trust, transparency, inclusiveness, and long-term commitment towards sustainable development among all members of society. Community participation helps strengthen trust between governments and citizens by ensuring that decision-making processes are transparent and inclusive. It also allows different groups, including young, women, and minority communities, to contribute their ideas and benefit equally from development initiatives, leading to more sustainable and successful outcomes.
For our case study, we have chosen Malaysia, a developing country in Southeast Asia. Since gaining independence in 1957, Malaysia has transformed from an agriculture-based economy to one driven by industries such as electronics, petroleum, tourism, and palm oil. The country has achieved significant development in infrastructure, healthcare, education, and transportation. Malaysia is also committed to sustainable development through the Sustainable Development Goals and the 12th Malaysia Plan. However, Malaysia still faces several economic and social challenges. One major issue is income inequality between urban and rural areas, where rural communities often have less access to quality services and job opportunities. The rising cost of living is another challenge, especially for low and middle income groups. In addition, some communities still have limited awareness of environmental sustainability practices such as recycling and energy conservation. Therefore, continuous efforts are needed to reduce inequality, increase public awareness, and ensure sustainable development for all Malaysians. To address these challenges, the Malaysia government has introduced several strategies to promote sustainable development. One of the main initiatives is the 12 Malaysia Plan, which focuses on reducing poverty, strengthening the economy, and improving public services. The government also encourages a green investment by providing grant and incentives for business to adopt environmentally friendly technology. In addition, Malaysia has increased the use of renewable energy such as solar and hydroelectric power to reduce dependence on fossil fuels. Awareness campaigns on recycling, environmentally conservation, and sustainable living are also carried out through school, community, and media platforms. Furthermore, cooperation between the government, private sector, and NGO help strengthen sustainability efforts across the country. As a result, public awareness of environmental issues has increased and more businesses are adopting sustainable practices. Investment in green technology have also created new job opportunities and support economic growth. However, challenges such as income inequality, pollution, and climate change still exist. Therefore, continued commitment and cooperation from all stakeholders are necessary to ensure a more sustainable future for Malaysia.
In conclusion, sustainable development is essential for Malaysia to achieve economic growth while protecting the environment and improving social well-being. Despite challenges such as limited financial resources, income inequality, and lack of awareness, this issue can be addressed through government support, education, financial assistance, and community participation. With continuous cooperation for all stakeholders, Malaysia can move toward a more inclusive, balanced, and sustainable future for present and future generations.